Hi guys, welcome back to episode 2. This time we are going to set my Olympus camera up. I'm going to put it on a tripod in my room, where you can see behind my door I've got my black screen set up and the white screen, but I prefer the black one, so we're going to stick with that one for the moment. I'm going to use the GoPro on a side pod and compare maybe a dozen lighting setups, above, below, to the left, right, how far away, and with a bit of luck, if I mastered the editing in Premiere Pro, hopefully we can compare the lighting setups to the actual photos that were taken, and yeah, a bit more care in setting up the GoPro film settings this time, so wish me luck. So this was a much more ambitious video than I could have anticipated. Didn't have nearly the time or frankly the experience to superimpose frames over my video. Could have possibly figured it out with time, but wasn't going to get there this evening. So with that in mind, here's me fast forwarding through my setup. Smoothly ramping this footage up and down was more challenging than I expected. The keyframes are more difficult to direct than I had anticipated. So with that in mind, we get to shot number 1. Okay, this is a shot taken at my right hand side with the diffuser above eye level. It's okay, pretty standard, nothing major. Number 2 is taken with a left hand side with a box light, a hard light above eye level. Definitely more direct, much sharper shadows on the right. 3 is taken with a soft light at waist level. This is less pleasant. This immediately brings out shadows in the forehead. Number 4 with the hard light at waist level. And now in hindsight, I should have had these compared on the same side of my face, so I'll keep that in mind for next time. Number 5 compares the two of these at waist level, and number 6, the two lights on at eye level. So with that, we're starting to get some quality looks. Some of the most even lights so far. Number 7 is kind of a dud. It's the box light at eye level but shooting down toward my waist. It's a control for number 8 and 9, which are using the reflective silver panel and the reflective gold panel, neither of which turned out well. Somebody needed to balance that light in the camera by changing the exposure quite significantly, or the focus, because it didn't do a great job of that on its own. It did bring out my beard though. Which brings us to number 10, with the box light reflecting off the ceiling and one diffuser down low looking up. Number 11, similar with the box light reflecting off the ceiling and 2 of the diffusers, left and right, down low looking up. This is my favourite look so far. It's the most dispersed, most even light, and takes away the real harshness from the box light. Number 12 takes a step back towards this harshness by turning off the box light reflecting from above. The 2 lights underneath really bring out shadows on my forehead. And number 13 does quite a nice job, in fact, using the box light from below and one diffuser on high. And on that note, back to the studio. Okay, so lessons learned from this little excursion. First and foremost, the microphone. I really wish this microphone had a light on front of it, because it was not built for vlogging. The amount of times I was talking to myself, camera recording, microphone not on in the background, is astounding for the number of audio clips I was recording. Also, editing is exhausting. That is really problematic. Even if I did have the technical know-how to quickly zoom and scale and whatnot, all the photos. Firstly, the GoPro was recording in 1920, but to a different vertical resolution, a 4:3 ratio instead of a 16:9. So actually I didn't even zoom in on that one, because the larger image, cutting the top and bottom of my frame suited me better. It actually took a better, took a nicer image, easier, a more complete view of the room, the space in the room that I was using. What else was there? Still in 30 frames a second. The GoPro Hyperlapse function that I used at 5 times speed could only record in 30 frames a second, or 29.976. So that had to stay. I haven't output this video yet. That'll be interesting. Shit. I haven't output this video yet. Hang tight. Frame rates, man. I was horrified there for a second that my my GoPro footage being recorded at a wrong speed would have to be played slower, and as I cut and pasted all that video separately, I thought it would significantly mess up my timeline, because I liberally used varying speeds in my GoPro Hyperlapse to match up, to extend and expand and contract the video to match the audio. That was, I assume nobody is sharp enough to visually notice different speeds in a hyperlapse. So some of those seconds between photo 6 and photo 7 were at 90% of the speed, and some of them were at like 140. So that's a pro tip I wasn't expecting to come across. Easy way to hide and find time if you need it. But yeah, back to the where was I? So yeah, my frame rates came out okay in my exported video, all at 24, nice and even and flat. Rig is not meant for yeah, maybe I might have had a little bit too much faith in the autofocus system. It didn't, I mean, that's my mistake, that's not on Olympus, that it didn't get as even a photo. It's probably in the light metering settings. I'll look into that next time. Fun little exercise. Yeah, the editing, man, that is a bigger fish than I thought. So that's all for today. Tomorrow I have a little schedule of my lesson plan, so to speak, drawn up on the board in my room. You might have seen it on the GoPro wide angle. No idea what tomorrow holds for me. Oh, I'm going snowboarding. That's what it's going to be. I'm going to take my GoPro and my drone snowboarding to the mountains. Gonna take, yes. Okay, until then, probably fair to say my video will not be uploaded tomorrow. So until Friday, Saturday, Sunday, who knows, happy Christmas.